Hello everyone, welcome back. Where am I going? Not really sure what to do actually. I do want the bigger bomb bag. I'll keep an eye on the time, I think. Yeah, keep an eye on the time and I'll just start heading down to the southern swamp. Obviously we've got this cutscene here to do with the Skull Kid graffiti. So we'll see what is said here. Nice art. So we've got kore natsukashi na. So this is just a noise. Kore, I guess that's just like enthusiastically, like saying this. Like I guess it's just twice because it's you know, she's kind of enthusiastically remembering it or something. And natsukashi is kind of weird. Basically, it's said when something is nostalgic. But it doesn't come out as an entry in my dictionary for some reason. The entries in my dictionary are dear, desired, or missed. But basically, it just means like a childhood memory is like natsukashi. It's like you remember fondly the memory of doing something like. Well, something that I'm thinking of right now is when I watched a Banjo-Kazooie playthrough in Japanese and someone was playing it, you know, I assume in like their 20s or something. And during the intro cutscene, they were like, oh, natsukashi na, like it's just, you know, a very nostalgic and you know, beloved memory they have of playing that game when they were like 8 or however old they were. But yeah, that's what natsukashi is. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know, I was surprised to realise that nostalgic is not one of the entries in the in the dictionary. Never mind. And we have Hajimete Staru Kiddo to atta toki no lakugaki yo. Hajimete, so this basically just means like the very first time. Hajimete. Yeah. There's a hajimete that means like the te form of to start, but it has a different kanji. So hajimete, this just means like the first time, and I think you just basically use hajimete like this and then add add whatever the kind of verb is to it. Yeah, and I think the verb has to be in like past tense as well, so yeah. Staru kiddo to atta toki. Now this is throwing off something that I established in a previous part, which is the particle. I thought that you used to, which means like with. You only used to with ao when you had both arranged prior to meet. But obviously that's not the case because she's talking about the first time her and Tail met the Skull Kid and they're still using to. And obviously they didn't arrange to meet, they just happened to meet. So that throws that theory out the window, but yeah. So Staru Kiddo to atta, so with the Skull Kid met, and then toki is just time, so the time we met the Skull Kid, you know, for the first time. No, so this no just links like the time to the next noun. And lakugaki is graffiti, or like, you know, damaging writing, which isn't literally what it means. I don't really know why it's lakugaki. The gucky comes from the verb kaku, which means to write. And I suppose that because it follows, like, to make it into kind of a noun, it would be kaki rather than kaku. And then just because it follows ku here, we put the dakuten on it because it makes it easier to say. So it's laku gaki. But yeah, laku means to like. Laku is the reading for the kanji that means to drop. So I don't really know why it means that. But yeah, anyway, lakugaki is graffiti. So there you go. ここに初めて取れると来たとき、あいつは友達と喧嘩して一人ぼっちだったって言ってた。Lots of chisaitsus in there. So yeah, ここに, so to this place, 初めて for the first time, 取れると with tail, 来たとき the time came, or you know the time that I came with tail for the first time to this place. あいつ meaning the Skull Kid. 友達と喧嘩して. Now, kenka is to have a fight, basically. So with friends, fight, and then just the te form because it allows the sentence to continue on. And I suppose you've got suru here to make this into a verb. So with his friends, like had a fight. And then hitori bocchi. Hitori bocchi just means like, you know, to be like completely alone. I believe. Aloneness, loneliness, solitude. Yeah, hitori bocchi. Hitori bocchi datta. So that's just the past tense. So he was completely alone. Te, making it into like quotable things so that we can do other verbs to it. And then itteta. So he was saying, like, quote, that he was, you know, completely alone is quite simply what's going on there, I suppose. Wonder what they're doing out, actually. I've never thought about that. Where were they trying to go? Also, oh, I remember. I was going to say, why was he even alone? This is before he got Majora's Mask, so I wondered why his friends had abandoned him, but it's explained in the story from Anju's grandmother, isn't it? He started hassling the residents of Clocktown, I think.そりゃ確かにいたずらばかりしてみんなから相手にされないけれど so そりゃ is basically それは but it's kind of just said quickly so it sounds like そりゃ instead of それは そりゃ so that just means like, you know, that and then wa would just kind of bring up the topic of I think, are we still talking about him being left alone? I think we are, or maybe the graffiti as well. But sorewa, so those things, tashikani, just meaning like undoubtedly or for sure. Itazura bakari shite. Itazura is just like a practical joke, or a prank, or mischievous like actions, basically. So Itazura bakari, I think we've covered before, just means like kind of nothing but these things, or yeah, always or only doing these things. So he was always doing itazuras, and then shite, just making it into a verb, I suppose. Itazura bakari shite, minna kara, from everybody. Aite is like a companion, isn't it? Or just someone who accompanies you, I suppose. Did we discover that it was also used for, opponent in sports, but that doesn't apply here. So companion or partner or whatever, or company, in the sense of, just having company. Aite ni sarenai. So sarenai is like the kind of the... what did I say in ocarina for this? It's kind of passive. It's passive form, but it means like to kind of have something done to you. So he sort of... Aite ni sarenai. It's quite confusing. I feel like if you ni suru something, it means that you... sometimes it means that you consider something to be a certain way. You consider something to be something. Or you decide to... you decide on something. And you go with that. A good example I've seen was on like a menu. When you say, I'll go with the, I don't know, the burger. I'll go with the hamburger. Like in Japanese, you can kind of say like hamburger ni suru, which means you've decided on and will have the hamburger or whatever. So I suppose aite ni suru would mean like to consider the Skull Kid to be your companion and to sort of go with that. So I suppose aite ni sarenai is like he could, like, he did not receive being considered a companion by anybody, or rather from everyone, which is kind of what happens in Japanese, I guess. So more simply, it just means that, like no one would be his friend, no one would accept him as company. Or he was not accepted as company from everyone or from anyone. And then keredo, just kind of meaning like but at the end. So for sure, it's because he was doing like mischievous actions all the time that everybody like would not be his friend. But dakara to ite, excuse me. Dakara to ite. I think this is like... I think this is like the Skull Kid... I think this is like the Skull Kid saying, like, because of that is why I do these things. And I think that with toite, it's like Tattle is saying... How do I express this? Tattle is saying, like, kind of maybe like belittling the reason. Dakara... Let's have a look. Toite. Yeah, well, in my dictionary it says, while it may be true that, just because, nevertheless, not necessarily. So I feel like she's saying, just because of that, anna osoroshi koto suru nante. And then the nante, as we discussed before, is sort of expressing disbelief or distaste or disdain for the thing that comes after it. Before it. The thing that comes before it. And anna is like that kind of, or such an. Osoroshi is like terrifying, and then koto is just thing, isn't it? So it's like to do like such a like terrifying thing just because of that is what's going on here. But obviously the order's all very messed up compared to English. But I'll continue on because, as I said, I wanna get through things a bit quicker. Chikara wo motta bakari ni. Sorry, bakari ni. Kind of need to look up bakari. Because it can mean like, you know, to only do something. Or it can mean that there is nothing but something. But I wonder if this is to do with time or something. Excuse me. Oh, okay, I found something here. Okay. It says... Okay. When used with past tense verb, it means just finished. Which I've just found on jlptsensei.com. So yeah. So I guess it's like immediately, like after obtaining his power, or the power, or whatever. So after having just got his power, I don't know actually, not entirely sure with that. I really should know this, but Bakari does have a lot of. It does have a lot of different meanings. So I'll just say that in my defence. But yeah. Might have to look into that. I'll try to remember to ask my friend. Didn't screenshot it there, but you know. All right, let's go. Got to talk to the monkeys as well, haven't I? Oh, I believe this is Numa and Chi, Numa Chi, which just means like the kind of the swamp place, or like the swamp region maybe, or the swamp area. But yeah, that's literally, obviously, we just say swamp. I've been hitting the owl statues. I don't want to do that. Yeah. Okay, so here we have Deku no bowl wo te ni ireta. So bowl is just a, a stick, right? So it's a Deku stick. Te ni ireta, got the Deku stick. Shi itemu gamen de via the C item screen. Left, down, right. Ni setto shiao. Like, set it to those directions. Shi ni setto shi de furu. So yeah, set it to C, and then using C, furu, which means just to swing or to shake, swing, I think. Shimao toki wa tachidomatte e. Shimao kind of means to put away in this case, and toki just means time, so the time to put away. Tachidomatte, stand and stop, or rather stand still, and then A with no verb after it, but it's implied that you press A to put it away. And then hi de yoku moeru. So yeah. So by the means of fire, it burns very well, I suppose. And moeru is like to burn as like a fire burns. Moeru. Well, moeru is like for a fire to exist and for it to burn in that sense. It's the intransitive. Maybe I could just say that. The transitive form of this is moyasu. So if you want to burn something, then you moyasu it. And if something just is burning, then it's moeruing. It moerus. So, yeah. Just a point. Oh, got nuts and all. Deku no mi wo te ni ireta. So, yeah, same sort of thing. Just the deku nut. Hand in entered. Or placed into the hand or whatever. That's the same. Skip that. Shi wo oshite nagete mio. So press C and sort of kind of try throwing it, I guess. Nageru is to throw. Pikato hikatte mekuramash. Pika is like, just like onomatopoeic, sort of. It means like, yeah, like to flash. It's like a kind of a sound effect. It kind of just gives a vibe of the sort of, yeah, effect it will have. Yeah, so pika is like to flash or to twinkle. No, not twinkle. I suppose it must be a bit stronger than twinkle, but yeah. And then hikaru is to, I suppose, to emit light or to light up. Pikato, and this to, this is just used for some like adverbs, like e-adjectives, for example. Let's take hayai, which means fast. To make that into an adverb, it becomes hayaku. And then there are like na adjectives to which you add ni to make them into an adverb. Like, what's a good example actually for a na adjective? I don't know. Anyway, you add ni after it to make it into an adverb, but there are some like this. They usually have a chisai before it. They might even always have that. But yeah, pikato. So it's just kind of like making it into an adverb. So to kind of to light up flashedly. I suppose you could literally translate it. And mekuramash, we saw that in Ocarina of Time. It's like exactly the same text box. I think it means like smoke screen, right? Smoke screen, dazzler, distraction, camouflage. Mekuramash. So yeah, I suppose it just means like it blinds them, basically. It's like, I think it can mean like blindfold, maybe. Almost. It just blinds the enemy. And then teki no ugoki wo tomerelu zo. So yeah, teki meaning enemy. Ugoku means to move. So ugoki is like the noun form, so they're movements. Enemy movement. And then tomerelu, I assume, is the shortened potential form. So it should be tomelalelu, which would mean like you can stop it. But they've just gone tomerelu, meaning, you know, you can stop the enemy movements, enemy's movement. And then zo is just kind of a kind of a fun, kind of crude way of ending a sentence, basically. What am I doing? Nothing. Pretty used to the rando, you know. I just want to put this on, and I'm going to do it anyway, even though it doesn't work. mash A to get across, to have constant Deku hopping, unlimited Deku hops. But it doesn't work in the vanilla game. I'm trying to think about what I want to do here. I think I should just get on with the game. I think we've got enough text going on as it is, right? So I won't talk to the potion guy before I go in here. I'll just come straight in here. Oh! We've actually seen this word already a couple of times, but it was in katakana, I believe. This is fushigi. Fushigi, just meaning like mysterious, basically. So Fushigi no Mori is like the mystery woods, or the mysterious woods, the woods of mystery, or whatever. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. Getting some money. Ting. That might have been quite a good example of a word, actually. It's like onomatopoeia, like ting in English, for example. Tinged off the edge. Anyway. So this is just like a... It's from the word itai, which is like an adjective that means painful, basically. But people say it when they hurt themselves. It's like the equivalent of ow. Like if you kind of pinch your finger in something, for example, a Japanese person might sort of say ita, like it, you know, they've hurt themselves. It's like going ow, or ouch, ita. And she's going ita da 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 da, just kind of I don't know, really, just elongating it for some reason. Ita da 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 da. So she's obviously in pain. Something hurts. So she's saying that. And then tasukete kure just means, you know, help me. You got the te form of tasukeru, which means to help. Tasukete kure, just, yeah, just help me, basically. Oh, that was it. I thought she had something else to say for some reason. Alright, let's go. Kinoko sagashi ni ki o torarete tara, ikinari pokat to yararete kono zamasa. Kinoko just meaning mushroom. Sagashi meaning kind of the noun form of to search. So it's like mushroom searching or mushroom finding. Or less literally, you know, mushroom picking. Ni, in this case, I believe it's like... Because this is kind of like passive here. So ki is like your focus or your mind, I suppose. Your mind or focus. In this case it is anyway. And so tolalelu is for it to like to be taken. So it's like my mind was taken by... like mushroom searching, or you know, less literally, I was focused. My mind was focused by mushroom searching, or I was, you know, distracted by searching for mushrooms. And then we've got kind of the conditional form. So it's like. When my mind was being taken by mushroom searching, or whilst I was distracted looking for mushrooms. Ikinari, just meaning like suddenly, out of nowhere. Pokato. I guess that's just like the sound of like a punching sound, maybe. Pokato. I'm not sure. Pokato. I guess that's just the... Oh, I don't know. In my dictionary, which isn't the best, to be honest, It's saying... What's going on, man? Why can't I make that small? Ridiculous. It's saying blunder, like poka is blunder or careless mistake or error. I'll see if it has... Doesn't have example sentences. That's quite annoying. Anyway, it's kind of a sound effect, maybe. So perhaps it's like a punching sound or something. Pokato yalalete. Yeah, yalalelu can just mean like to be defeated or to be beaten or to be, I suppose, yeah, like beaten up or whatever. Ikinari pokato yalalete. So I got, you know, like beaten pokatly. I don't know, man. I don't know what this is, but yeah. And then kono zama sa. Zama or sama sometimes. No, maybe not. Maybe it's usually zama. It means just like a bad state, a bad condition, a bad situation, a bad condition of a bad state, I suppose. Yeah, kono zama. So this, now I'm in this sort of bad situation. Now I'm in this bad condition. So yeah, just like while searching for mushrooms and being distracted by doing so, suddenly I was sort of, you know, I was sort of beaten with whatever this sort of sound effect means. I was beaten bangingly or so, I don't know. And now, like, I'm in this, you know, this state, this condition. Ima shi staru kedo me. Okay. Well, me at the end is pretty bad. You don't say that. But ima shi here is annoying or provoking or you know, I suppose that blasted skull kid, that effing skull kid, and then meh just sort of adds like real hatred to the thing that it comes after. So yeah, she's pretty angry at the skull kid. Kao o kakuseba kono obaba ga wakaranai to omotta no kai. So kakusu is to hide something. Kakusu is to hide something. I maybe usually behind something else. Maybe not. I don't know. To hide or to conceal is what I've got. And kao is his face or the face. So face, like if he hides or if one hides the face, or if he hides his face. Kono obaba, I guess like obaba is just another way of saying like oba-san, or like old lady. This old woman, kono obaba, this grandma kind of thing. Wakaranai, like to not know or to not understand or to not be clear. To omotta no kai, so she's kind of wondering out loud if the skull kid thinks that if he hides his face, this woman, this old lady, will not know that it's him. Even though the, like, you know, the identity thing isn't actually mentioned, but it's just kind of like, yeah. Does he think that if he hides his face, this old lady will not know? Is all the information you've kind of got there, but it's quite clear that she means she will not know that it's him, is what's going on there. Especially if you go off the English, right? Aitata. I think this is just a combination of a and itata, so it's just aitata. Just again saying like ow. Anna ni chikara ga atta nante. So such power, like to exist. Nante is like, you know, expressing disbelief again. So like, to think he had such power. And then she's kind of trailed off, like not really saying anything about it, but just saying to think he had such power. And then okage de koshi ga ugokanaku nachimatta yo. Okage de is kind of funny actually, because okage de is usually like a it is used in like positive sentences, in the sense of, you know, thanks to that, or thanks to you, or thanks to what happened, or whatever. Okage de, so thanks to that. But, you know, I guess it can also be negative. So you're saying like okage de, thanks to that, because of that. Koshi is like your, I think it's like your like lower back and around like your pelvic area. Your lower back and your hips and stuff. Your koshi. I think that's your koshi. And ugoku naku nachimatta. Bloody hell. So this is a massive combination of the negative form of ugoku, which becomes ugokanai, and also naru. So like to become, not move the like lower back, and then also combined with the like undesirable form of kind of shimao, but in this case chimao, excuse me, and then that's also past tense on the end. So it's like to undesirably to have undesirably become not move is kind of, yeah, what's going on there. So I guess she's saying like she can't get up, basically. She can't like move her hips or her lower back and stand, is what she's saying. But bear in mind that this is not potential. This is not potential form, so it's not really cannot, but that's how best to translate it into English, I think. It's like I can't get up now. But this is like, you know, my hips have become not moving. Yeah. Anta, nanka genki ga deru mono motte nai kai? So anta, written in hiragana this time. I think it's mostly been katakana in the past. But anta, obviously just kind of a rude, yeah, quite a rude way of saying you. Nanka, meaning just, you know, some kind of, I suppose. Genki ga deru mono. That's kind of funny. Genki ga deru. So I suppose your genki is like, you know, an energetic state, or your kind of standard state, maybe. Well, kind of literally maybe. Genki. But I might be overthinking that. So, yeah, so never mind that. We'll just say energetic. Like, you know, fine. Yeah, genki, energetic, basically. Genki ga deru. I need to start with mono, I suppose. An item or an object that kind of appears the genki. It makes your genki appear. It not really actuates. It actuates genki. Activate might be a good... It activates the genki. But an item that activates genki. Motte kai. Like, do you not have? Is sort of what's going on. So don't you have something that kind of, you know, that kind of causes energy to come back? Something that returns energy. Is less literally what's going on there. Actually, a good example is maybe if you have a friend who's like a little bit sad or whatever, or, you know, for some reason not themselves, or a bit blue, or a bit kind of tired, or a bit unenthusiastic or whatever. People often say like genki dashite, which means like, you know, get your genki out, present your genki, you know, be enthusiastic, be happy, kind of genki dashite, like, And obviously that's using a transitive verb of dasu. So that means to, you know, it's, you are making yourself energetic. But in this case, it's like genki ga deru. So I suppose it's like upon her drinking it, the genki will naturally kind of occur. So she probably could have used a transitive verb though. She probably could have said genki wo dasu mono, but she didn't. So I guess both are kind of quite natural in this case anyway. I think we've read that before, so I'm not going to read it again. Nandai ichomaya na kakko shite. Oh shit, I read that wrong. Nandai ichomaya na kakko shite. So this is obviously a na adjective. Nandai, I believe, you know, is just going like, what? And ichomaya, I guess, is just commenting on our like our age, kind of. Yeah, ichomaya, becoming an adult or full-fledged member of a society. So I suppose it's like saying, and kakko is like a, I suppose it's like a vibe, to be honest. It's like a vibe or posture or how you appear. Yeah, shape, form, posture, appearance, manner are the other entries in my dictionary here. So kakko shite. So are we doing that? I suppose the suru here is the kind of the happening meaning. So it's like ichomaya is like a, as we said, like a proper person, and then kakko is like a what did we say for that? A manner, and then shite is like to happen. So it's like kind of you give off the manner of a, you know, of kind of like, how do you translate this? You give off the manner of a, not necessarily dependable, but like a proper person. Like she thought she was saved, maybe because we look like we are competent, maybe a competent and maybe conscientious person of society or something. We look like a proper person or whatever. We look like we have our act together, maybe. And so she's surprised that we don't have something to help, or that we can't help her because we look this way, because we look reliable or dependable or whatever. That's what I think's going on anyway. Anta mitai no mikake daoshi. Yeah, I must be right there. Yeah. So this anta mitai not. So I think the no is just standing in. It's just standing in to mean like people who are like you, I think, or your sort of, your kind, maybe. Anta mitai no, things like you or people like you. Mikake daoshi. Mikake daoshi means like to kind of, you know, catch sight of someone and to think something of them. And then daoshi is like taoshi, which means like to fall. So it means like you fall below how you appear, I suppose, or in that sense you are disappointing. You are a disappointment, even though you appear to be a certain way. You are actually, you let that down. You don't reach the you don't perform as well as you look like you would. I suppose is what's going on here. False impression, deceptive appearance, mere show is what's coming out of my dictionary here. So yeah, mikake daoshi. So it's like the kind like you Mikake daoshi teiyun da yo. We call your kind mikake daoshi, is what she's saying. So it is said of you, or it is said of your kind to be mikake daoshi, or to, you know, to fall below your appearance, to not live up to your appearance, I suppose. Yeah, cool. Alright, well that's like 45 minutes we've covered there. So I'm going to leave this part here. So thanks for watching. Hope it's been worthwhile. And I'll see you next time.